So if I post this on YouTube for people who want to learn about it, like I was fortunate to get some video off of YouTube, kind of the first time. But there's some tips and tricks. One of the biggest tips I wish they had on the video was don't touch the sides. That will get you stung. You always want to grab, when you get a package of bees, you want to make sure that you don't grab the fence side, because they can sting through it, and they do sting through it. So I found that out the hard way. Let's go ahead and take out the can. Feeding can. I got these from Mann Lake. These are Italian hybrid. This will be about my 5th or 6th colony of package bees that I've installed. I've gotten bees from Mann Lake before. I've gotten them from, oh gosh, Lake Supply and Mountain Valley Honey, something like that too. Had good experiences with all of them, so those are cool. Oh, there we go, we got one out already. He's an eager beaver, a whole bunch, cool. We got one on the top. It does come with a can of sugar water in there to feed them, because they are in here. This actually arrived a couple days early, so I had to kind of rush into getting them ready to go a couple days before I was expecting them, but I'm glad they're here. The weather held off. It stormed pretty hard last night, so everything got wet, and I didn't want to install them in the rain, so because there are going to be some stragglers off to the sides. So yeah, so we're going to take the can out first. We're going to remove the queen. She's going to be underneath this little sliver here, which you probably can't see because the can was way far away. Pop this up and out, and she's going to come out. I also like delaying it a day because I do believe that it gives her an extra night of up close and personal time with her new hive mates. So it gives them a little more chance to get used to her smell and accept her as a queen. If I let her loose, she's already trapped in her little queen cage here. If I let her loose, she would be, they'd probably attack her. And so until they get used to her as a queen and accept her that way, they will, they're going to treat her as an intruder. But I'm already starting to see some of these bees fan, which that helps pass her scent around, which kind of guides the rest of the bees to find her. So that's a good sign. So seems like they're already starting to accept her, which is cool. She does appear to be alive in there. She's got a couple worker bees with her. Look at that. This even came with a drone. How about that? We even have a little drone bee here. That's pretty cool. Did not expect that. That's pretty wild. Okay. Questioning these gloves and how much they smell from other bees that I've worked on. Okay. So now we're going to take out the water, or the sugar water here. You want to be gentle. You want to kill as few bees as possible. That's kind of the goal here, because there isn't a lot of them. I think the estimate's 2,000 to 3,000 bees here. Let's see if I can grab this with another tool. You just don't want to hurt them. There we go. And yeah, they're thirsty bees right there. So they are drinking on this actively. I'm going to set this aside. I'm trying not to kill any of them here. Put you to the side. Bees on my hands. Alright, now we're going to pry open the sides of this here. I do have my hive tool, but I also have a bee brush that I like to use just to kind of shoo away any of them that are kind of a pain. and by a pain, they're just going to be nosier. They're going to want to hang out on my. They're just going to hang out on my gloves, kind of in the way, and I don't want to pinch them, because then they get mad and they try to sting, and then they kill them. You know, it kills them. So don't want that. Use that instead, but. I am by no means a beekeeping expert, but I've had them for about 8 years, or I've been keeping them for about 8 or 9 years now. Yeah, this I think my fifth or sixth hive. Fifth hive? Yeah, something like that. Because we've had a couple hives that were in fantastic shape. Then we had a couple hives that I think that it just got cold, and it doesn't snow here in Charleston. But it snowed this past year, and I think the hive box I used was actually defective, or I may not have put it together right. It was a kit, and it split. It looked like it got water in the joints of the hive box, and I think when that froze, it popped them open, and that allowed enough cold air to get in and just unfortunately freeze them, and so they didn't make it, which is sad, but usually I have pretty good luck with them. I'll try to open this up so I can try it, but I may just have to go up the top. Let's try to make it easier, because what we're going to do is pour them into their new home. Try not to. Oh, got one. Oh, poor thing. I hate when that happens. I think I'm just going to try to pour them out the top. Is ending up damaging them more than helping. So, what you want to do is take this, see how they're all combed up. They're all in here. They're very busy. They are very, very busy. So, they're all in here. As you can see, they're kind of combed up. And what I'm going to do is give them a gentle shake so that they're falling off. I'll show you so you can see them, they're kind of uncombed. I'm going to start gently pouring them into their hive. This is going to be their new home. And I did just buy a new box for them. Again, because I had that assembled set. It was a deep box and it was a honey super, and I don't know, it didn't feel like it was well made, or maybe because I put it together, I don't know, but it didn't seem to stay together very well, so. It's a very exciting time for this, for them and for any new bee keeper. I'm going to shake it out this way a little bit here. I've seen folks recommend, more experienced beekeepers recommend to spray them with sugar water. I've done it with and without, and honestly I feel like without makes less mess. They seem to be equally agitated with sugar water or without, so I don't know its supreme benefits of it. You're probably pretty excited to be out and about, flying around, because I've been cooped up in this little cage for the last couple of days. You don't have to get them all out either. You just got to get the majority of them out. In fact, that they're already kind of accepting the queen, that's pretty cool. Start to see them fan a little bit, that's pretty neat. If you don't get them all out, it's okay. I'm going to leave this right by the entrance, the hive, and I'll swing the camera around here once I get kind of less busy. And once you get them in there, should be in good shape. A lot of times these packages come in plastic, which makes it a little easier because you can kind of break them open and get a more comprehensive dump of the bees that are in there, because they're kind of limited to just going out this hole. This particular variety is an Italian hybrid, which I wanted to get because it's been bred with two other types, Carniolan and the I forgot the other one too. A buckbee? Is that what it was? Buckbee? Never really heard of that before, but they're supposedly known for their hygiene, and it's kind of one of the things, because we do get varroa mites here. I do have a Freeman trap at the bottom to kind of help with when they fall off, they'll fall into the Freeman trap. That's back here. I'll fill that up with some vegetable oil, and there's a screen at the bottom of this hive that will capture those. Or the varroa mites tend to fall into them, and when they fall into them, they fall into the beneath the screen and into the oil, and that's the flip for that. Okay, next one. All right, now we're going to put the frames back in. This is a 10-frame box. I've never used an 8-frame box, so I can't speak to if one's better than the other. I know on the last box too, the size does matter, and that if the frames are not specifically spaced, they will make comb that kind of builds off of the comb, or off of the frame layer here. Foundation, I think that's what these are called. And when that happens, guys, this is where that the brush comes in here. You can kind of brush them out of the way. And again, you're trying to keep as many of them going as you can. These bees aren't our queens. Our queen did not lay these. They were by somebody else, or another queen, or another hive. There we go. Which is cool. And then that's why they need time to get adjusted to her smell, or her scent. And once they do, then they'll accept her as their queen, and then they're going to start making, hopefully pretty soon, they're going to start making comb, and when they do that, she'll be able to hopefully start laying eggs. And then when that generation hatches, these bees will take care of that generation. They'll that new generation will come out. They'll be nurse bees for 3 to 6 weeks, I guess, and then they'll start foraging. They'll go out and start becoming, hopefully pollinating our flowers and all that good stuff. All right, so now we've got the frames back, and we need to make a little space here. This is what I was talking about that gap, that if you don't set the gap right, it really makes for an awkward hive building experience for them. It just makes it a mess. They start making comb in weird ways that's not efficient, it's not effective, and one of the things, keys to success for me anyway, is to try to keep them uniform as best as you can. Now I'm going to break that rule for here because I'm going to put the queen cage in the middle, and it's got to stay in the middle here so they have enough time to get adjusted to it. Again, which we kind of talked about. So here she is. I'm going to come up here with a little more pizzazz. I do need, neat. All right, so this has actually a tab. Usually we have to use a thumbtack because there's a there's usually just a string or a piece of like, is that plastic wrap type tape, and you use a thumbtack to go through here. But let me give you, this will be a more fun kind of way to see. I mean, they're all crowding her, so this is good. They're either trying to attack her or they're excited to be around her, so and happy. I can't tell. Usually when you see them fanning their wings, they're trying to propagate the scent. So, you know, that's pretty exciting. I am going to brush them off so I can get a good idea of the queen's health and see how she looks. Go get that brush. Not to be too cheesy, but one of the keys to success that I've had with beekeeping has been just to be cool. It's kind of one of those, sometimes it gets intimidating to hold a lot of excited bees at once. The Italian strain of bees is really gentle, which is great. That's kind of why I like them, because they're less likely to, they don't get too aggressive. They're not as defensive over their hive and over their brood and their honey and all that good stuff as some of the other ones are. So that's kind of why I like them, because they really, let's take a look and see if we can see the queen in here. They're pretty easy to work with. And there she is. Cool. There she is. She's the one on the closest to the tip here. You can see her butt, I guess. Let's see if I can get a good shot for her before the other bees. Yeah, there she is. That's her. So she's in there. She's happy. Life's good. I hope that shot came out. Sorry if it didn't. I'm trying to get out of the shadows here. But yeah, so that's cool. All right, she's good. That's a good sign. She's in there with her nurse bees, so they do ship a couple of bees that are already accustomed to her. Came from her own hive, her original dwelling. And so they feed her, they take care of her, and all that good stuff, her poop and whatnot. All right, now, which again, this is something really cool. Let me take this poor dead bee out. Yeah, this is a neat feature. So what we want to do is put this in here, right in the middle. I'm going to try to close these up without squishing that little bee. You gotta go. Can you move? You move, please. Move, please. All right. You too. Get my bee brush here. Kind of shoo them out of the way. Well, kill them. Oh, get out of there. Yep, that's what you need to be out. Well, that's about as close as they can get. So what we're going to do too is, I forgot to bring this up, but there's a little plug here that is made of candy, and they're supposed to be able to eat it out after a certain amount of time, like usually 2 to 3 days. I don't think this one's going to be eaten out. It looks pretty hard, so I may have to manually unplug that and release the queen after a couple days. So I'm going to come back here and check on her in a couple days and make sure she's kind of gotten out, because that's going to be kind of key to her success. So I'm going to move these in here. They're not really going to be building too much comb right away, so I'm not too worried about the spacing that we talked about earlier. So that's kind of cool. I mean, yeah, it's pretty neat. All right. So, I got to scratch my head, so I need you to go. Thank you. All right. All right, so now what we have to do is kind of get some feed into them. I'll bring the camera around here in a second so you can see the front. All right, we're going to do the inner cover, which is going to go on top. And what I like to do is take the can of the feed can here. If you look on the bottom here, you're going to see all the little holes. There's 3 holes here for them to just kind of go up to and drink out of, which is kind of neat. So that keeps them going and all that good stuff. What I try to do is, I don't think I thought this through very well. I want to make sure this is not directly above. I want to make sure this is not directly above her when I put the inner layer cover in, because you can see it drips. And sometimes, I mean, they're pretty good about not being too messy with it. But if it does get a leak in it, it will drip on the queen cage, and I don't want I don't want her to get drowned or having some issues with that. So that's why I kind of move her a little bit to one side. I try to go towards the front, I guess, so that when I seal up the hive, I've got an entrance reducer over here with a small opening so that her pheromones will get out, or her scent will get out. The kind of straggler bees will be able to kind of find their way back in. So as you can see, they're all flying around. They're all going to end up back in the hive tonight, hopefully. So, all right, next step.
So now I'll use these on the bottom here.
All right, so I think you get about 2,000 to 3,000 bees in a package, if I've heard correctly, and it seems like it. I mean, just eyeballing it. This next step is going to be a little tricky because you're going to try to, again, to get all the bees kind of shooed away so that you can kind of shoot away so that you don't crush them when you put this is the inner cover. I do have some comb left on it from the last bee, from the last hive. Oh, she is trying to sting. Oh, she tried already. Yeah, that's too bad. Sorry, honey. Get you out of there just so I don't keep squishing you. You two guys need to go so I can start using my hands again. Okay. So now it's gonna be tricky. And it's not tricky. It's just one of those. You kind of move them, move them, move them, move them, and then pick a moment when you can kind of get in there and squish as few as possible. And that's tough. I've always struggled with this. If anybody's got any tips out there on how to do it better, I am all open for it. Yeah, so you guys, as soon as you get one out there that kind of, oh, no, look out, come on out. Nope, you're in or out. I tell my kids, in or out. Yeah, I can't believe it. They shipped this with a drone. I was kind of surprised to see a drone in the package. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just, I didn't think any would be around this time of year, I guess. But, you know, the queen's got to have some fun somehow. Not this one. I guess so. Yeah. Anyway, all right, so we got the inner cover on. That's cool. Now what I do is I'm going to take the drink, and this is the side. Hopefully it's flat enough for, you want to get at least 2 holes in there so they can, so you get a little bit of easier access for them. Well, I used to be able to cover that. Okay. That's fine. Well, I don't think that's going to work. I have to scrape some of this off. So what I like to do is I like to try to cover the top layer hole, access hole, so that what I'll do is I'll put the outer cover on top, the top part there, and once I do that, it kind of creates a nice little seal, and it's supposed to be nice weather here for the next few days, so what I'll do is once they'll drain this in the next couple days, all this sugar water. I'm going to replace it with another thing of sugar water. Everything's blooming here right now. It's Charleston in April, and all the flora is going bananas right now. So there's going to be plenty of nectar to eat right away. Plenty of pollen too to get them. Plenty of pollen. Oh my gosh, this place is nonstop with the pollen. So they'll have plenty of things to forage and eat and pollinate. So, okay, cool. All right, let's put this on top. Keep putting my stuff in my pockets. All right, let's go. We're gonna put you. You guys can go over here. How's that? Oh, I'm going to guys. Oh, you guys are right there. Where are these ones? Right there. Okay. All right. Nobody pinched. Cool. All right. So now that's covered. It's sealed-ish. And then what I like to do is, what I've done in the past, and it's worked out well, is I'll put the top cover right on top of that. So it's right on top of the can. And then I'll put a weight on top of this. And once I do that, I got the customer inside. Once I do that, it's pretty much, it's going to be pretty good. It's starting to get dark here, or it's about 7 o'clock Eastern. And all the bees are going to start heading inside, hopefully. So that's going to be the end of their day one. They've had a busy day. They're going to need to figure out how to get in. I noticed they're on that side, sunny over there. It's going to be warmer, but there is an entrance over here. So hopefully they'll start smelling the rest of their colony, and we'll be in good shape. All right, let's put this here. Okay. Usually set that right on top like this. Or you know what I did? No, this is what I forgot all about this trick. 'Cause that's way too easy. It's been a couple of years since I've done this, so. All right, I usually take a pot. Those pots aren't clean. Let me get another pot. You're ready. Alright. I don't think this is going to be big enough. It's so close. But not quite. So what I want to do, keep it pot. Hey, buddy. That's good to go. All right, cool. So anybody in there, they can still get out. Yeah, it's not supposed to rain. Ooh, make sure these guys are set. Oh yeah, they're already starting to come over by the entrance reducer, which is cool. Wanted to have something a little larger on the top here, just to put the outer cover on. So that works. What we're gonna do is put this. Still have some wax left over from the last time. There's some comb. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna go. Whoop. Alright, there we go. So, we have got a couple of customers here who got squished. Sorry, ladies. I hate when that happens. But I think it's just going to happen in the nature of what we do here. You can see they're busy over here. This is great. I like to have the entrance on the way that when the sun comes up, the sun rises in the east over that way, so that this way, you know, I think it gives them their landing, when they're taking off and landing in the morning, it gives them a higher temperature, which makes it a little easier for them to do that. Let's see what else. I'm just going to put a weight on top of it, so it kind of helps it survive the wind. I've got this amazing artwork here. Put that right there. Good. All right. I think we're in good shape. I'm going to fill up the Freeman trap here later. Right now they're so excited I don't want to get too many in there. Nope. See, that's why I hate when that happens. But they should be in there tomorrow too, so I'll let them out, and they'll probably be excited to come out. But yeah. Oh, let me spin it around here so you can see what the y'all can see what the front looks like. But yeah, there's my setup. This is the site. Here's the entrance. Right here you can see they're already trying to get in and out, which is awesome. Probably take this off. But this just said, hey, live animals. Yep. And you can see the cage up, or the package up close. You can see that they're already milling out of it, you know. And honestly, there weren't that many dead bees. This is the best one we've received with the fewest dead bees. Of course, maybe I poured most of them into the hive, but they'll start pulling them in and out. So that'll be cool. Over the next few days, you'll see a whole bunch of dead bees down at the bottom. It's not cool to see dead bees, but at least you know that they're cleaning up, making the hive their home, and yeah, getting on it. So cool.